Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video we're going to be looking at the Cardano technicals and fundamentals. Not only are we going to be looking at the recent drop down to around 86 cents, we're also going to be looking at the fundamentals having to do with Vasil, when that hard fork is coming, and the massive surge in transactions over $100,000, how they've rallied 50x since the beginning of this year. Quite a lot to talk about in this video, and if you're wondering where Cardano is and where it's going next, you found the right piece of content, so make sure you stay tuned because we got a lot to talk about. If you enjoyed today's stream, if you enjoyed today's show, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, but without much further ado, guys, let's go ahead and dive right on into it. As you already know, Cardano has been in a downtrend ever since September of 2021, and that downtrend has continued recently ever since we rallied up to $1.24. We've recently pulled back down to a local low of 82 cents as of this morning, and in doing so, we've actually set a higher low above the low that we set on the 14th of March. Now, after the 14th of March, Cardano did manage to go into a 21-day 60% rally, which proved that the bulls do have strength, but that rally was not to last. We did not manage to get above this previous high that we set in early February, and we have now since corrected 32% in 21 days as well. So just as quickly as we rallied, we have now fallen, but the good news is we have set a higher low, and that is actually relatively encouraging because if you look at the RSI, you can see the RSI is virtually identical. However, if you zoom in here and you make sure that your RSI is drawn absolutely perfectly, you can see there's actually a downtrend on the RSI ever so slightly. There's a high here on the 13th of March, a low here on the 13th of March, excuse me, and a low here on the 25th of April, which is today. That causes a downtrend. But if we look at the price action on Cardano, you can see there is actually an uptrend. What is that? It's called bullish RSI divergence, and it means that there is a trend line of support on the bottom, not the top, on the bottom of Cardano's price action, and a downtrending level of support on the bottom of Cardano's RSI. That speaks to the fact that it has bullish RSI divergence. That's very encouraging. A couple of other things that are relatively encouraging on Cardano are, number one, we are seeing a 7 on TD sequential. Now, whenever TD sequential hits 9, that is a reversal indicator. We actually hit 9 before, but we did not have a reversal, indicating that this entire time we've been overextended, and it looks like we're about to hit 9 again if Cardano continues trading sideways or moving to the downside over the next 2 days. That would indicate overextension to the downside and a good buying opportunity for anyone trying to scoop up some more #ADA. We can also see that the MACD on Cardano has been converging bullish ever since the 14th of April. That is a good sign because if we do see a bullish MACD cross down here, that is going to help Cardano confirm an uptrend. Now, something to keep in mind is that even though Cardano does have a few encouraging technicals, it is still technically in a downtrend. On the daily chart, you can see we are in a sell signal on LuxAlgo. We had a buy signal that more or less perfectly called this rally, and then a sell signal that more or less perfectly called this correction. If you don't have LuxAlgo, you are missing out. Use coupon code JEB, J-E-B-B, for 20% off at checkout. The link is down below. It's going to help you to identify trends, and through identifying those trends, hopefully you're able to trade them better. But LuxAlgo says that we're in a sell signal. The good news is, though there's good and bad news, the bad news is we just turned red over the last 5-6 days on Cardano's price action, which means that we are having strong sell pressure, not just normal sell pressure, strong sell pressure. On top of that, on the good side, we did see a red X, which indicates that you should be getting out of your short positions that you entered when this sell signal came into play. Basically, LuxAlgo is saying, yes, it is actually very bearish, but we might be reaching the end of that bearishness. That's why we have that red X indicating to go ahead and get out of your positions. Another thing to mention is that the Bollinger Bands are actually constricting on themselves pretty heavily here. We're seeing volatility drop off, but we also pulled back down and tested the bottom of the Bollinger Bands. A lot of times that is bullish. A lot of times you will see one bottom, maybe a second bottom on the Bollinger Bands before you bounce. We saw this happen back over here in February and March of this year. We saw Cardano come down and test the Bollinger Bands here at 85 cents and then came down and tested them a second time. In fact, right now we just saw a first test back on the 11th of April. We just saw a second test right now. Could we see a second test bounce off of the bottom Bollinger Band? That is very possible, and to be honest with you, probably likely. The final thing I'll mention here on the technicals of Cardano before we move on to some encouraging fundamentals and on-chain metrics is the fact that this last candlestick is what is known as a hammer. It has a very long lower shadow here and a relatively small body. If this candlestick closes like this, it's going to be pretty encouraging because this long lower shadow indicates that the bears attempted to drive us down to 82 cents, but the bulls managed to reverse the market and push us back up to 86 cents. You might think, Jeb, if If it's a red candlestick, how can that be a good thing? The good news is the bears tried, but they failed to push it lower, indicating that the bulls might be starting to take back some of that control. Now, I want to run you through a couple of bullet-pointed fundamentals to help you understand where Cardano is going relatively soon. Director of Cardano Architecture John Wood just revealed that the hard fork, the Vasil hard fork that we've been anticipating for a while, will proceed on track on June 29th of 2022. That means that Cardano is on track for its next major development. We've actually talked about the Vasil hard fork in a previous video. If you would like to go back and watch that, we go into some of the details there. But the interesting thing is we're on track for the Vasil hard fork for Cardano, but we're not on track over on Ethereum for ETH 2.0 and the proof of stake transition and a lot of their updates. We've been looking for proof of stake transitioning on Ethereum since 2019. In fact, to be honest with you, you could argue even earlier than that. Hasn't happened yet. Cardano is on track. A lot of people argue Cardano is slow to develop. It's slow to grow. I don't think that's true. I think Cardano is actually moving very, very fast. It's just that Ethereum had a 3 or 4 year head start. Cardano's catching up very rapidly. Next thing to read here is Cardano integrates on-chain KYC in compliance with regulation. Now, I'm not going to go into a bunch of detail here. This is just another fundamental development that's going to help with the growth of the Cardano space. This warrants a video in its own right, but what I am going to do is show you the article here, and you can pause and read it. It's over on maxbit.cc. We have some more developments going on in the Cardano ecosystem. Not going to go into all of it right now. You can pause and read this if you would like. This is a good thing, even though you might think, oh my gosh, KYC, what are you doing? That's not decentralized. That's not really what we're getting at here. It is actually a very good thing. Another thing to talk about is SingularityNet ERC20 converter bridge now live on the Cardano mainnet. The reason this is interesting is because this was originally supposed to go live on Ethereum and it got stolen, and now it's being built on Cardano. So you can pause and read this also. I'm not going to go into a bunch of detail on this because it's just one of these little headlines that you might find interesting. But the point is we're seeing more projects develop over on Cardano that we have not seen before. And not only are we seeing more projects move over there, we're also seeing the DeFi space grow quite rapidly. You can see that we're sitting at $204 million in TVL. That is 1/100th of what Ethereum is at, albeit. However, TVL has only been a thing on Cardano for just over 3 months. So give it some time. This is also a very boring market. We're going to see a lot of growth over here. MinSwap, WingRider, Sunday Swap, they're all sitting over $45 million in TVL, and that is going to continue to grow. One final point to mention before we get on to the big story is that transactions over $100,000 have increased by 50x since the start of 2022, suggesting strong institutional demand. Now, we've talked about this in a previous video. I figured it was imperative to re-mention it because that is not a metric that I want you to forget. I want you to drill that into your head. Transaction volume over $100,000 has increased 50x in 4 months. That is huge. Now, one final thing to mention is the fact that Cardano may be helping with this whole Elon Musk buying Twitter debacle. Let's bring into play 3 of the big names in cryptocurrency. Elon Musk said on April 21st, if our Twitter bid succeeds, which at this point it looks like it will, we will defeat the spam bots or die trying. Michael Saylor responded, Twitter can solve the problem of scammers and bots if they allow real humans to get verified with an orange check by posting a one-time security deposit, then limit comments/DMs to verified accounts. Reported bad actors and spam bots forfeit their deposit, and Twitter monetizes malice. The really cool thing is that you could do this with as little as $1, and you would basically eliminate most spamming and scamming, because what these spammers and scammers do is they create thousands and thousands and thousands of accounts, and if you're having to put down $1 or a $5 security deposit every single time you make an account, then all of a sudden trying to scam somebody out of $100 costs you $10,000 and it's not profitable, and then the economic factor fixes the issue. Michael Saylor has talked about how this can be done through blockchain before, and it would be something that would help quite a lot. I think it would be definitely something that would be helpful. But it's not just Michael Saylor and Elon Musk talking about this. Charles Hoskinson is inserting himself into the drama, also posting this Nick Cage gif because he's very excited that Twitter is in talks to finalize a deal with Elon Musk to sell him 100% of the company after originally rejecting his offer. The really cool thing here is that Charles Hoskinson is trying to get Elon Musk's attention to say, hey, if you buy Twitter, let me help you build it on blockchain infrastructure. If you saw a partnership between Twitter and Cardano, you would almost certainly see the price of Cardano double overnight, because Twitter is one of the largest, most influential social media companies in the history of mankind, and Cardano has the infrastructure there to help that company and that product run very, very, very smoothly. So I would love to see Charles Hoskinson and Elon Musk get together and help Twitter to become what it probably was always meant to be, which was that free speech platform that it was dreamed of when it was created. So what do you think about Cardano? Is the future bright? Are we about to see a major run on Cardano? Technically speaking, it does have bullish RSI divergence. It is overextended to the downside. Fundamentally speaking, there's a like 1% chance that we could see a partnership between Twitter and Cardano. That's exciting. And we're also seeing a massive amount of projects switch over to Cardano from Ethereum as Cardano stays on track for all of its development. I'm not sitting here trying to tell you everything Cardano does is perfect, but what I am saying is that it's doing a pretty good job, and that's why I am invested in it. Anyway, guys, tell me where you think Cardano is going next. I'd love to hear all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. What do you think a Twitter-Cardano partnership would look like? Would Elon Musk actually consider partnering with Charles Hoskinson with Cardano, or would Elon Musk try and do it himself, or try and build his own blockchain that would be able to back up some of the functionality of a new next-generation Twitter? I'd love to hear your thoughts on all of that and its impact on the Cardano price in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and look forward to Club DeFi. We've had thousands of people try and sign up, but unfortunately for you guys, it is in a closed beta, and it will be coming soon. We've got a lot of things that we're working out. Everyone who signed up and actually got into the first 200 seats that opened up, the payment processing issues with PayPal are now fixed, so check your email. You do have an email in your inbox telling you, hey, if you want to sign up, then here's how you do it. We've got about 150 of you guys, but there's a few stragglers out there that haven't managed to get in just yet since we sent out that email last night, so make sure you check your inbox, because if you're looking forward to getting into Club DeFi and you signed up in those first 200 seats, then I think you're going to be able to go ahead and get in now. We're really looking forward to revolutionizing education in the cryptocurrency space. We're already doing it. We've been doing it for years with C22A in this channel, and we're going to go forth and dominate the cryptocurrency space if we are so blessed as to continue doing that. Anyway, guys, before I go, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Holy cow, you're at the end of the video. You're one of the good ones. I give you a thumbs up. If you want to give us a thumbs up, make sure you do that. And if you're not subscribed, consider hitting that subscribe button. Also, if you really want extra bonus points, you can comment what you think down below. That's all we got. See you next time.